Again, I welcome you to the SWAM course on preparation of research proposal in social sciences. And today we have our lecture number 4, which is based on basics of research language. So let us start. Key learning themes for this lecture number 4. What is research language? Key characteristics of research language, objectivity and operationalized, voice and verb tense, practical points for writing. We will discuss all these things one by one. So, let us begin. What is research language? See, we have discussed many things about research proposal, but as a researcher, it is very important for all of you to understand that research language is a bit different to the normal language that we use in our day-to-day life. In our day-to-day life, we all know how we talk, how we do the things. But when you form a research proposal, things are bit different. Bit different means they are different in the sense of research language. Language means the way you communicate your idea, the way you write the things. So let us start and discuss what is research language. Research language refers to the formal piece and objective style of writing used in academic or scientific research. It is the style researcher communicates their finding, arguments and evidence clearly and professionally. You can see here that we are talking about a language which is professional, which communicates and propagates your findings and arguments very clearly. Whatever you prepare and plan in your research proposal, you have to communicate in a research language. So, research language acts as a tool for precise and objective communication within academic and scientific context. Here it is very important to understand one thing for all of us, that scientific contexts are a bit different from our day-to-day life. There are many things, many terminologies, many keywords which are specifically related to some certain discipline. So, when you are forming a research proposal, you have to be very precise, very objective in terms of your writing. This includes terms unique to specific disciplines, enabling researchers to convey complex concepts efficiently. This is another very important thing. There are many ideas you will have, you will form and you will write various components of your research proposal, but all that components will come up with some kind of technicalities. All are different with each other and interlinked with each other. Your introduction, your rationale, your methodology, your tool, your population, sample, whatever you are writing, they are interlinked together. And as a researcher, you have to be very clear and make this idea effectively with your research language. The way you communicate, the way you write it, it gives you the responses and it shows the effectiveness of your communication. So, this is a very important thing for a researcher to understand, that how you write your research proposal. Key characteristics of research language. We will discuss this one by one. There are some certain important things that a researcher has to take care of regarding research language. First is technical and field specific terminology. See, when you are doing research in a science, social science or any other discipline, you have so many technical terms which you have to mention when you are writing your proposal. Next is formal tone. This is also very important. You cannot use a casual language while you write your research proposal. You have to make a formal tone of your writing with research based support. For example, when you are writing something that I found so and so thing in some certain research, we have to give a citation. This makes your writing formal, more researched, more rational and more effectively communicated to the person concerned. Third is objective and neutral. This is very important for a researcher to understand. See, a researcher has some kind of idea, some kind of a thought before moving into the research proposal in an actual manner. Therefore, as a researcher, you have to be free from any certain kind of a biasness. This is very, very important. Please make a note of it, that you have to be very, very neutral in terms of mentioning anything. You may feel something that you have to make a supporting argument with the help of a review of literature and researches. So, be very, very objective, very, very neutral while you are writing in a very concise manner. For example, if you write your objective, your research question, you cannot write your research question objective in a form of a paragraph. It is important to understand that you cannot write everything as in a form of a paragraph in a proposal. In a proposal, you have to be very, very objective and concise while writing your research question, your research objective, and most importantly, be on a neutral plane. Do not make any judgment regarding the things, because as a researcher, it's not a way, it's not an effective way to communicate something by being on some certain plane. For example, you like something or you don't like something, that liking should not influence your write up, and it will be visible, it will be visible to the institution or your supervisor or the person concerned who is examining it. So, be very, very objective and very, very neutral. Next is precise and clear. As I am discussing, be very, very clear and precise what you say and communicate. See, when you are writing anything, there are methods to say it in a very longer words, sentences and paragraphs. Yes, it may communicate your thought, it may communicate your idea, but it's not wise. It's not correct to communicate in so long statements, so long paragraphs. It's better to be precise and pinpointed, because one thing I am adding here, that when you form a research proposal, it is your whole sole responsibility that the thing that you are planning and trying to do, it should be communicated very effectively to the person concerned, because it has a time also. Nobody will read your 400-page research synopsis. You need to be very, very brevitive, you need to be very, very concise and clear also at the same time. So, research language provides you this all fundamental things, that how to be precise, how to be clear, and how to be more effective while writing and drafting your research proposal. Last is evidence based and structure. This is another very, very important thing, that whatever you are planning, it should be based with the help of some evidences. Evidences means research based evidences, and you structure all this thing accordingly, as I have discussed in a lecture number 3, that structure of the research proposal is very, very important. So, your research language also gives you the edge to make it more sound, to make it more effective when you are making it evidence based and structured. Next is objectivity and operationalized. Objectivity in research means striving for without bias, impartiality, and avoiding personal opinions or biases that could influence the finding. It is very important. It is very important for a researcher. See, when a researcher introduces or integrates their biases intentionally or unintentionally, it makes your research poor. It cannot communicate your idea effectively to the audience. Therefore, the moment you start writing research proposal, be very, very attentive towards what you write, because it may be case, I am raising this question here, that it may be case that you understand the things very well, but ultimately what you write is significant. You may be understanding a problem very well, very nicely, or articulating the problem, but my dear learners, the way you write a proposal is going to be read out by the person. Nobody is going to know your feelings. So research language is very, very important in terms of doing these things. Next is operationalization. Operationalization involves defining and measuring abstract concept systematically and measurably. Here it's a very, very significant thing that we have to discuss. We will discuss it in the upcoming lectures also, but operationalization of some certain thing is the key in a research proposal. Let us discuss this with the help of a example. See, suppose you are taking a variable achievement in your research. Achievement can have many kind of measures. Achievement can have many kinds of definitions here. But as a researcher, what does achievement mean in your particular study? You have to operationalize. And not only achievement, if you have any other key terms in your research topic, you have to operationalize. Yes, the definition of that particular word is already existing. That is why you are taking that word. But as a researcher, in your research, that particular topic is significant and you have to define what does it mean. This process is called operationalizing. So define your variable and abstract concepts very systematically, and most importantly inclined with your research, that this variable means this and this things in my particular research. Operationalization is the process of defining abstract concept or variables in a way that they can be observed and measured. Another significant thing, it makes a thing very, very measurable. Another example we can take attitude. For example, if you are doing any research which is based on attitude of something, we all know that attitude is not easily measurable. You have to make some certain things, and in your research you have to define that attitude means this and this. Without this, it becomes vague and very difficult for the person to understand that what it means in your study, because the particular word may have various meanings and context. So it is your responsibility as a researcher to contextualize the variable and abstract concepts which are not clear in a very, very operationalized manner. Operationalized definition of the key terms required to be written in a research language. Again, it comes to the research language. The way you write your operationalized definition, again it requires a research language, and it should be very, very formal, very precise and to the point. Next is voice and verb tense. It is a very challenging thing for a researcher to understand that in what tense or in what form I will write my research proposal. In a research proposal, the passive voice is preferred. For example, rather than writing I will conduct an experiment, it should be written as an experiment will be conducted by the investigator. You can see here, in a research proposal, generally when a researcher is very new, they used to write IV, that I will do this, or if they have a group of researcher, we will do this, or certain things we will do. But it is not correct. The research language does not permit us to do like this. It says that instead of writing I or we have to write investigator or researcher word should be used. Next, you can see in a research proposal, most of the writings and statements are written in a future tense. Why in a future tense? Because we are proposing to do something. Let us take an example here. A questionnaire on awareness of ICT tools will be developed. Developed means we are going to develop. I am proposing as a researcher that I will do so and so things. That is why you are preparing a proposal. So it's a very natural thing that what you are going to do in a future, you will write it in a future tense. So be very concise on these things and very specific, because the moment you make these mistakes, even though you have worked hard, even though you have prepared a very nice proposal and you have taken a very good research idea, it makes it not good. It shows that, oh, researcher does not have that competency to articulate what they are thinking. So again, I am emphasizing over this, a good idea is well and good the well it is communicated. Idea within the mind is only a thought. So when you want to see the effectiveness of your idea of a research proposal, it is must, my dear learners, that you write it in a very formal, operationalized and a professional manner, that yes, these are the things which I am going to do in such and such manner. In a research proposal, avoid using slang or casual languages. This is also very interesting, because see, the way we live in our life, the way we talk with our friends, our family members, is not formal. We talk in our general comfortable way, but in a research proposal, avoid using slang or casual languages. For example, wanna, generally we used to say I want to, so we say wanna. It's not acceptable and not permissible also in a research proposal. So please do not do this thing. And expression like WhatsApp, hey, ASAP means short form, as soon as possible. Do not write these things, because again I am highlighting one thing here, that as a researcher you are going into a very serious task of academics, where your sincerity matters. This is very important. I am telling this, where your sincerity matters, that how sincere you are towards some particular issue, some particular cause and problem. So the moment you write these things, it may be case that you are not insincere, but it gives the impression that the way you are writing. So avoid writing these things, wanna instead of want to, and expressions like WhatsApp, hey and as soon as possible and other things. Make it very formal and very to the point. Practical points for writing: keep besides you a dictionary to check the meaning of words. We all know, let us discuss it very practically, that we all do not know the meaning of everything. A researcher will be a master of his or her own area, may be master of some other areas, but may not be master of all areas. So it becomes very necessary that accept the limitation of human brain and have a dictionary with you. And whatever words you are countering in order to make your research proposal, do not go randomly. Check it that yes, this word means this, and most importantly, whether this word suits with my research context or not. It is very important. See, there are two words. One example I am giving you, sorry and apology. It is, this meaning of these two are same, but the moment you write apology, it makes you more professional, it makes you more formal. So that kind of thing you have to do as a researcher, that keep besides a dictionary and keep checking the words which you don't know. Next is, try to search for accurate and relevant words. This is very interesting, very important for a research and person who's going to do a research. There are many things which can make many meanings of the word. There are many things which can happen by your write-ups. So it is your prime responsibility as a researcher to be very accurate and see the relevant words, nearby words which can be placed. You can see nowadays we are using ICT, and when you are typing on MS Word also, if you click over a word, you can get various synonyms in MS Word. That facility also you have, but not all. So therefore, when you have a dictionary and the things with you, you can make a judgment regarding the selection of word. These things are very small, but they are very important and to be considered by researcher, that yes, how I want to make and select some relevant words for some particular context. Keep your paragraph short and focused. Interesting thing. Keep your paragraph short and focused. You see, in a previous lecture, I have discussed that keep your objective research questions short and focused. Now, you have to focus on your paragraphs also, whatever you are writing, because generally, if you see a research proposal, it is hardly 10 to 12 pages, maximum 10 to 12 pages, irrespective of some other conditions or other field of studies. So you have to be very concise. You have to be very focused on the paragraphs what you are writing, and at the same time your paragraph should convey the meaning properly. It may be not the case that you have reduced it so short that it is not able to communicate your meaning. So keep your paragraph short and focused. Insert heading and subheading to guide a reader. This is very important. You see, nowadays we are moving in the world of navigation, where you work on computer, whether you go to outside city, anywhere you go, navigations are there. You can go this side, this side, this side. Similar kind of a thing you have to make in your research proposal also. Insert headings and subheadings to guide the reader that these are these things, so that your good paragraphs may not lost. It should be visible and properly highlighted that this contains this. Polish and craft your sentences. This is most important. Sometimes we say it is a paraphrasing, sometimes we take help of some tools, but how you do is important, and at the same time is important what you do, how you frame your sentence. Because again I am remarking it that you can write simple sentence also, it will convey the meaning, but it may lose the effectiveness of your communication, because research has some certain specific vocabularies. Like you have to understand what is hypothesis. You cannot simply write anything else for hypothesis. For research question, you cannot write anything else for research question. You have to counter these technical words of the research proposal. So please polish and craft your sentences accordingly, so that it can communicate your ideas effectively. Concluding discussions, research language is important. It is very important, because research language prioritizes the clarity, it prioritizes the quality. The clarity that you have, it's communicated by research language. And here at the concluding point also I am highlighting, you will have your thoughts, your ideas in your brain. Nobody is going to jump into your brain. You have to articulate it effectively in a way that other person can understand and get attracted to it. Next is evidence based claim and proper citation. Very important. In a research, never write anything, as I have mentioned also, by only your thoughts, by your beliefs. No, go with evidence based claim and proper citation, that this I found there, and according to this and this studies I found these things, which are supporting, which may be supporting to your research. Next is write formal sentences and avoid slang and casual languages. I have already discussed this thing. You do not write slang languages, any casual languages, please avoid it. It will decrease the effectiveness, because what you write, it reflects your personality also, sincerity also. So be very immaculate, very precise and professional with respect to your sentences. Next is avoid using jargon, idioms and phrases. This is significant, because when we especially deal with the field of social sciences, we have different kinds of things, different approach to conduct the research. We have a different background reservoir of literature that we have that may contain many things. It's a bit different from the science. But as a researcher, please be very aware and very accurate with not using jargons, items and phrases, because it has no meaning, no sense to your research proposal. Do not go for writing so many classical words which makes like a poem and the things. Be scientific. I am again repeating it, be scientific. Jargon, items, phrases should be strictly avoided in research proposal. Last is operationalize the key terms in a appropriate way. Whatever key terms you are writing, please operationalize it in a way it should be operationalized. You can take help from some other researches, dictionaries, other websites which can define that yes, this is the variable, and you have to articulate what it means in your research. So make these things and try to prepare a good research proposal. So thank you.